Yo, what is up, guys? Highlight Headquarters here. So tomorrow the NBA playoffs are starting, so I decided today we're going to be filling out an NBA playoff bracket. So let's get into it.
Mama told me not to say a word. Mama 17, 5, same color,
Okay, guys, so here we are. We're on the NBA Bracket Challenge website. So we're about to start filling out our bracket. So in the West, for the first game, we have the 1 seed Golden State Warriors versus the 8 seed LA Clippers. Now, I think that this is not going to be a very interesting series. I think that the Golden State Warriors are just too good. They have Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson. And I just think that they're going to end up blowing out the LA Clippers. I don't really think the Clippers have a chance in this matchup. So what we're going to end up picking is the Golden State Warriors to beat the LA Clippers in 4 games. They're going to beat the Clippers 4-0. So for the next matchup in the West, it's the 4 seed Houston Rockets versus the 5 seed Utah Jazz. I think that this is going to be a very interesting matchup to watch. They're both very good teams. I think that the Houston Rockets were very inconsistent this year. They should have been a much better team this year. They should have, I think, gotten at least the 3 or the 2 seed. But this is what they ended up with. They ended up with the 4 seed. James Harden and Chris Paul are a great team. I think on the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert are also a very good team as well. But I don't think that they'll be able to take down the Houston Rockets. So I'm going to end up picking the Houston Rockets to beat the Utah Jazz. And we're going to have it be in about 6 games. So the Rockets are going to beat the Jazz 4-2. In the bottom half of the West, we have the 3 seed Portland Trail Blazers versus the 6 seed Oklahoma City Thunder. So what I'm thinking here is that I'm leaning towards the upset. This is because I feel like the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have very good potential in Russell Westbrook and Paul George, and I think that's going to be a real game changer when it comes to the outcome of the series. When I think of the Portland Trail Blazers, all I really think of is Damian Lillard, and without him, I don't think that the team really has any chance at all. So for that reason, I'm going to be taking the Oklahoma City Thunder to beat the Portland Trail Blazers in this round. And I think that's going to be a pretty good series, and I think that it's going to be in 7 games. So the Thunder are going to beat the Portland Trail Blazers 4-3. For the last matchup in the West, we have the 2 seed Denver Nuggets versus 7 seed San Antonio Spurs. The Denver Nuggets are having a phenomenal year. They're only a few games behind the Golden State Warriors in their conference. The San Antonio Spurs are also having a really good year, but I don't think that they're doing as well. The Denver Nuggets have Nikola Jokic and Bogdan Bogdanovic. I think that they're just going to be too strong of a team to beat. So we're going to have the Denver Nuggets beating the Spurs and moving on to the semifinals in the West. Now we move on to the East, and we have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Detroit Pistons, the 1 seed versus the 8 seed. The Milwaukee Bucks are the best team in the NBA right now. They have 60 wins. They also have one of the best players in the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I don't think that the Detroit Pistons are going to be able to do that much to defend against the Bucks. So we're going to have the Milwaukee Bucks sweeping the Detroit Pistons. So they're going to be winning 4-0. The next matchup we have is the Boston Celtics versus the Indiana Pacers, 4 seed versus 5 seed. Now, just like the Rockets versus Utah Jazz matchup on the West side, this is also going to be a very interesting matchup. I think the Boston Celtics have been very inconsistent this year, and they've been very shaky, but towards the end of the season, they have been able to recover, and I think that Kyrie Irving is very much a stud player, and he's a star, and I think that because of Kyrie Irving's potential, they're going to be able to pull it off against the Indiana Pacers. So we're going to have the Boston Celtics beating the Pacers 4-2. The series is going to end in 6 games. Now in the bottom half of the East, we have the 3 seed Philadelphia 76ers versus 6 seed Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets have been very good in the second half of the season, which is one of the main reasons why they were able to make it into the playoffs. The Philadelphia 76ers, on the other hand, they have Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and I think that's going to be a bit too much to defend against. So we're going to take the 76ers here to beat the Brooklyn Nets, and I don't think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. I think that it's only going to be in about 5 games at the most. So we're going to have the 76ers beating the Brooklyn Nets 4-1 game. Now for the last matchup in the East, we have the Toronto Raptors versus the Orlando Magic. I don't know what else to say about the Raptors except for Kawhi Leonard. He's an amazing player, definitely one of the best NBA players right now. he's a guaranteed Hall of Famer. When I think the Orlando Magic, I don't think that they're a very good team. You don't really see them that often in the playoffs. And because of that, we're going to take the 2 seed Toronto Raptors to beat the Orlando Magic. I just think overall they're a better team. And it's not going to be a very interesting series either. I think that they're going to end up sweeping the Orlando Magic 4-0 games. So now we move on to the semifinals in the West, and the first matchup is the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. Now this is going to be a very interesting series to watch. The Golden State Warriors, of course, the number 1 seed. Houston Rockets, the number 4 seed. I think that the Rockets do have stars on their team, Chris Paul and James Harden, and they could work together to create some magic. But I don't think that's going to be able to take down the Golden State Warriors, Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson combo. So we're going to end up taking the Golden State Warriors to beat the Rockets. But it's going to be a very close series. It's going to go in 7. So we're going to have the Warriors beating the Rockets 4-3 games. Now in the bottom half of the West, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets, the 6 versus the 2. Now I think the Oklahoma City Thunder having a pretty good season. They definitely could have had a better season. I don't think they should have been the 6th seed. They should have been a much higher seed, maybe like a 4-3. But this is what they ended up doing. They ended up getting a 6th seed. They haven't been that consistent this year. On the other hand, the Denver Nuggets, the number 2 seed, they're only a couple games behind the Warriors, as I said earlier. They're the 2nd team in their conference. I think that with Nikola Jokic, Bojan Bogdanovic, they'll be able to produce much more than the Thunder. So we're going to have the Nuggets beating the Thunder in 6 games, and they're going to beat them 4-2. Now on the East in the semifinals, the first matchup is the Brewers versus the Boston Celtics. And as you can see, I think that it's the 1 seed versus the 4 seed. The Milwaukee Bucks are just really good this year. They're the best team in the league. They have Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think that the Boston Celtics have been that consistent. So for that reason alone, I'm just going to take the Milwaukee Bucks because I don't think that the Celtics are going to be able to pull through against the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think that they're going to beat them in 5 games. Milwaukee's going to beat Boston 4-1. Now in the bottom half of the East, we have a very interesting matchup. It's the 3 seed 76ers versus the 2 seed Toronto Raptors. They played 2 times this season, and they split the outcomes 1-1. They each won 1 of the games. But what happened was when Toronto played the 76ers and Toronto won, they blew them out. They had a very good game. When 76ers beat the Toronto Raptors this season, the Raptors were playing without Kawhi Leonard. And I think that he's the game changer for the series and that Kawhi Leonard is going to be able to make the team pull through into the conference finals against the 76ers. So for that, I'm going to take the Toronto Raptors to move to the conference finals. And they're going to win in 6 games, 4-2. Now in the conference finals on the West, we have the Golden State Warriors 1 seed versus the 2 seed Denver Nuggets. I think that the Golden State Warriors are just a phenomenal team. They've had very good playoff history. They made it to the playoffs in like the past 3 or 4 years. And I just don't think that the Denver Nuggets are very experienced with their playoffs. Nikola Jokic, I don't think he's ever been to the playoffs. I don't think that they're going to be able to produce much in this matchup. So we're going to have the Warriors moving on to the finals, and they're going to beat the Nuggets 4-2 games. Now on the other side in the conference finals, we have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Toronto Raptors. Again, it's the 1 seed versus the 2 seed. Now, I still don't think that the Milwaukee Bucks have a lot of playoff history either. None of them are experienced with the playoff basketball. Toronto Raptors have some experience. They have Kawhi Leonard. He's a very experienced playoff player, and I think that this is his year to make it to the finals. So we're going to have the Toronto Raptors beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 7 games. They're going to beat them 4-3. Now we're at the finals here, and we have the 1 seed Golden State Warriors versus the 2 seed Toronto Raptors. I think that this is going to be one of the best matchups in the tournament. These are both phenomenal teams with phenomenal players. As I said earlier, the Toronto Raptors, they have Kawhi Leonard. He's a star player, one of the best in the NBA. But I don't think that him alone, he's going to be able to take on the combo that the Golden State Warriors have, Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry and all their other amazing players. So I'm going to end up taking the Golden State Warriors to win the championship again. And yeah, I think that's what's going to end up happening. They're going to end up beating the Raptors in 6 games. So they're going to beat them 4-2. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed what you just watched, then make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and comment down below who you think is going to win the NBA playoffs.
Sugar coated